Hi. I'm in the next part. I also want to tell you something about that girl, Ole, that ended up calling me conceited. Go check out the previous part. She was so sweet when we met. The first, when I was brand spanking new at MTN, she had already been there for like a month or two. And I remember she was one of the sweetest people at induction. She used to greet me, busy gathering myself before officing. And she would like knock on my window and be like, "Hi, Karabo, how are you?" She was so welcoming. So when that came out of her, it was shocking. It was surprising because she was so sweet. Black girls usually walk around ka attitude, a lot of competition. So this chick was not like that, and that's also another thing. She caught me off guard. Like a flying kick, I don't know where it was unwarranted what she did and unexpected given the character that I had given her. I have been so hurt by women. I've been so devastated by basadi who have not cared about my feelings. Women are strong emotionally, I get it, but we are also more emotional than men. And the fact that people who understand the gravity or the depth of our emotions can be so unemotional and so insensitive towards a fellow woman is really heartbreaking. I don't know how much sexual harassment I have endured ever since entering into this persecution. And you would imagine that because women feel really strongly against gender-based violence, and especially if it's sexual in nature, you would imagine that they would kumbaya with me because, far be it from us that we should continue to get so harassed by these men. But in this season of my sorrow, the way Mona Wabasadi has so broken me, guys. They've literally watched attempted rape on my case and done nothing. They've watched me complain against a stalker and done nothing. They have watched me get abused by men and done nothing. Accosted by men and done nothing. Men who have touched me strangely and I have reported it and done nothing. All of it was inspired by jealousy. It's like they were like, Garabo, you don't get to be the only one here walking around all like holier than thou, chaste, looking like Sandra D, bursting with virginity, you won't go to bed till you're lawfully wed. You don't get to be the celibate random thing at borang. Lwena ke tsamaya uyo engage in uqanzi. Lwena ke tsamaya ulo sena against God. The rest of us are doing it. And so insofar as they can set me up for failure to end up compromising with a man, they do it. But they're not even setting me up for failure to make me compromise with a man. They put me in a position where a man can abuse me, as opposed to me being obediently willing to capitulate to a man's advances. Kisabatle nna, kisabatle bang siya mohara rumunya monom foster. And that for me is like, how comment ko Twitter, follow a hashtag, airing hashtag in my next hashtag gender-based violence, hashtag men are trash. You go and you proliferate or you pontificate this particular hashtag as a woman that has got a best friend, an attempted murderer, a rapist, I've been so abused by men because of my situation. They feel entitled to me due to the fact that some of them, if at all they're in a position to do so, actively physically hurt me, right? And when I would go to women to complain, in that state, on some karabo, everybody got to do something to get ahead. They're basically putting me in that position, in a position to be like Jada Pinkett and set it off. You know how she ended up sleeping with that disgusting man grunting on her body, just because she needed help. So any help at all to help her brother along. They are putting me in a position to eventually accommodate very disgusting men because banademon. But God has protected me. So my trauma is exquisite. Basadi, kidi hypocrites that have left me at the hands of perverted men, and all this in the spirit of jealousy. On some weekends, mzalwane sweet konyane, while the rest of us are backslidden, lukewarm, whatever. You're not going to get to do whatever. It's been shocking. Like the very people that I ought to be able to run to and be safe because they don't have man parts, because they don't have anything with which they can rape me. The very people that I run to are literally shutting their doors. A pervert. As a result, I have had, I don't know how many love curses slapped me. I have had death curses. Men. The most recent dude was some American guy that has literally been trying to kill me. Recently, email, obsessed, and I have highlighted many a time I need help. This man is a stalker. This man is abusive. This man. And one of the reasons why men feel brave So it's because I don't have protection from women. And yet the same women, ha go tlhokafala o inene, ha go tlhokafala Karabo Mokoena, ha go tlhokafala Dolly Shabalala, ha go tlhokafala Naledi Pangindawo, ha go tlhokafala these women that get massacred by men. They are the first to go balo riot, balo match, balo trenda di topic go Twitter about how men are trash. I can't say that enough. Basadi are trolling me on social media. As soon as one irresponsible comment is made by anyone on my social media, the first people to hop onto that comment are women, because and that envy causes them to break my heart insensitively, adding insult to my injuries without taking for granted. And I'm abandoned. They've left me destitute. They act like I'm irresponsible, and they do exactly the same thing that women have been doing all along. Exactly the same thing. Like literally, you've known me for 5 seconds through TikTok, naturally in the waking space, and based on comment one, accuse now of and I need to stop blaming everything on witchcraft. Exactly, she blames everything on witchcraft. And then another person rocks up on some, you really need therapy. Both of those people rode a wave of a guy that innocently asked, why do you talk so much about witchcraft? The guy was not vitriolic. He was not trying to hurt me, but the two women were. They were trying to make it clear, responsibility. Like gaslighting me. You better just take responsibility for what you've done. You've ruined your own life, or if not, just accept and move on. Like, just move on. Imagine losing your whole family in a bus accident, and 10 months down the line, somebody tells you, goodness, it's been 10 months, move on. You've lost your whole family. I'm told to move on. I did not just lose a job. I lost a life. I lost love. I lost fellowship. I lost family. I lost friends. Nkara azanka hola, nkara azanka ya crèche, kaya primary, nkara azanka ya high school, nkara azanka kena skolo, nkara azanka sebetsa ko corporate, nkara azanka gather knowledge, nkara azanka ka rutwa 1 2 3 ABC. They have all ignored that I had a life once, and I'm literally gathering dust at the back of my mom's house doing nothing. And I'm trying to rescue or salvage my life. And these people are telling me to get over it. How do I get over 30 years of my life and pretend it never was there? And the people that put me in a position to suffer like this, I can't even get true closure because they're still breathing. In a bus accident, because then you accept the way they used to treat me. All of it is because of witchcraft. And I have been told by people essentially to get therapy. What is a shrink gonna do for me? When I tell them the family members my friends since a grave, that shrink will immediately try and get me diagnosed with some mental illness. So they are literally sending me down my demise, and literally it's women. It's usually mostly, not usually mostly, it's literally 100% of the time that comment like this because they want something to be wrong with me. The level of piety that I walk in, they can't accept it. And so therefore have a covetable godliness, an enviable godliness, the kind of godliness that you ought try to emulate your life against. Because and for those reasons, when I'm still waiting on Christ, and even in my sorrow and suffering, I still don't compromise. For them, it's like something is wrong with this. What do you mean something is wrong with me? I'm suffering as Christ said that we will suffer, partake in his sufferings.